Hey guys. Oh, let's see, our Truez and Chill 2G. I'll be with you guys momentarily here. Just posting here in the Discord for people. Be right with you. Oh, it's pretty close. Not quite. Oh, I got a chart on Coinbase here. Not quite. It's pretty damn close. It's kind of been sneaking. It's a little bit of a sneaky push here. Okay, we'll give, we try and give people 2-3 minutes to get on. We're not like a train. Yeah, give me a minute here. All right, let's see what we got. So 31 here. We'll give them another minute. Let's get over to my list here. Interesting lineup you guys post. It's always, it's so funny. I get like 3 or 4 2 minutes before we start. Oh, let's see. Somebody's asking about ETH. What are we looking at ETH here? Maybe. Well, that's not a great looking 4, is it? ETH is kind of a turd on this price action. Okay, another minute, we'll get it going. Hey there. Who's that? Fork Pilot. That's a good one. Fork Pilot. Hang on. All right, guess we'll get her started here. It's no earnings. Is that right? No earnings tomorrow? Do we actually have no earnings tomorrow? Can't be. Well, we are certainly getting through the majority of them. But we certainly have Fed news, which... Oh, the market's so just schizophrenically hypersensitive to whatever the Fed does. It's certainly going to move the market, as it always does. Okay, what do I got here? So, are we ready? What do we got? 32. It feels like it's longer. It's only 32. 33. Okay, let's get the disclaimer. Oh, what do I have first? Oh, Rose, I think, is our first. All right, now that we're fully disclaimed, I'm going to push that up here. All right, so you guys should, so am I unmuted yet? Yep, okay, so we should be good to go. All right, so first up, this is, so let me just do my little intro here. I'm so bad at marketing. that I'm trying to market really, but just for those people that, we have a lot of new members, or we did a little promo, we got a lot of new people in. So you understand what we're doing here. This is, it's not so much about me per se. I try and really not make it about me, just about the methodology that we're teaching. And you'll find that as we review this, my interpretation of it is always geared towards staying consistent with what it is that we teach. So we ask the members to post here, and for some of you many of you are members that watch this in live. Many watch it after the fact. So we ask the members to post up their TA, and we're just trying to get a feel for how they're progressing with our content. And are they? It's not all Elliott Wave, but that's an easy place for us to start and say, okay, they're getting the basics of it. Then add in a little market structure, the fibs, geometry. And you'll find that there's a consistency to, if you've watched one of these, you've watched all of them, really. Because I approach the market the same way, or it's how I was taught, which served me well over many years. And so we're trying to pass that along and see how people are coming along with this. So this is an example here. This is, who gave me this? This was Fellow Trader. Now I don't think he's that new, but he's telling me I would like to work on your charts that we plan, but I guess he wasn't ready to post a chart, right? So sometimes I'd just rather you post something with just a little bit of TA on there, just so I can see how you're approaching the market, right? Maybe I can help, maybe not. But this is what he requested. So this is Rose, I guess Oasis Network, never heard of him. Now, to me, I mean, to some degree, and I'm kind of generalizing here, but I really don't care about the underlying asset. It makes no difference to me. For the most part, right? I'm kind of generalizing there because I approach the technical side of this the same way. I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm looking 1 minute, 1 month. It's all the same. They all trade the same way because it's people that are trading them. Yeah. Now, of course, now it's 90% software driven, but people wrote the code. So, there tends to be patterns that we can see that repeat over and over again. Elliott Wave is not an algo-driven pattern. It's a human emotion-driven pattern. It's crowd dynamics, fear and greed. Interestingly, they play well together. And though I think for any that have been following me when I've been doing this for 5 years, in the last year we've added in the market structure just from demand, for just popular demand. Right? It's so popular you can't. I mean, you almost have to do it. It's because that's where the students are, right? It's just, it dominates TA, right? So now, fortunately for us, adding in market structure and some of the smart money concepts, right, pioneered by ICT. Well, let me rephrase that. Popularized by ICT, right? He's made contributions, but he certainly borrowed heavily from his predecessors and those that inspired him. But we've added that into the Elliott analysis because it just dovetails in, doesn't conflict in any way whatsoever with everything we're doing. It just adds a little bit more. It adds another language and some things that we don't talk about with just pure market Elliott Wave. Things like fair value gaps, imbalances. When I was coming up, we called them breakaway gaps. Right? Now it's a fair value gap. And fair value actually is a better description of what's actually happening there. So with all that little intro done here, I've been told I have my own team telling me I run too long I'm going to start my timer here. That I run too long on some of these live streams here, so they're trying to keep me at 15 minutes chart. And if I run long, it's usually because I get off on a tangent. It's not necessarily the TA. Anyway, all right, so let's get to it. Oasis Network here. This is a daily on Coinbase. Is there any? Right? It's not for if you've got your Elliott hat on. Not the hardest count. Now I have highlighted here the 2 and the 4. That's an imbalance. You wouldn't pick that for your ideal scenario. But there it is, nonetheless, right? You're kind of forced into it. The thought of maybe something else happening here. Because we have this pivot here, you're kind of stuck with it, right? So the imbalance between the 2 and the 4, it's not the end of the world. Looks like this would be a combo. It doesn't matter, right? So here's the impulsive move. Here's the retrace. It doesn't overlap the 1, so we got to go with that 5. Now we overlap the 1, so we're kind of forced into a 1-2. Now. So a little bit here. Oh, it's what this thing here I think does it. So we look at number of bars here. Oh, this gives me 524 days to come out here. Well, essentially, let's do it this way. So that's 441 bars to complete the impulse. Let's see if I can do this here. I don't think it won't let me do it. But we're going to correct it here in 36 days. Right, it doesn't seem like it's balanced right now. Of course, again, I will remind you, market is under no obligation to do anything just because we like, oh, well, that doesn't seem balanced. Well, fucking market doesn't care. But we could just look at what does the market tend to do, right? This tends to be, or that's all we get to work with, right? Is tendencies. We don't have certainties, but something like that would balance that out a little bit more. Now, by no means am I suggesting that you want to be shorting it here because of that. The trend is higher, at least the macro trend here. This is, that's kind of a wick rejection here, but it's higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Okay, change of character here. I wouldn't be in a hurry to do anything really here. The fact that we have that imbalance here, that we're gonna, the implication here, if you're thinking, oh, completed impulse and that's the 2, well, that's I wouldn't take that. I just getting a lot of years of doing this because of that imbalance. So what I see here is it's not quite ripe. What I would prefer to see, if I could, right? The market doesn't always give us what we prefer. I'd prefer to see something like that, right? So I'd get a little bit more structure to the proposed wave 2 here, so I could get a 1-2 rather than squish the whole thing and say, oh, well, that must be 1-2, and we're going off into the 3. It doesn't quite have the right look. I mean, we're a little squished. That I love. Now, we're going to get that one? Of course, no idea. Often it's looking at something like this that's heading up. It's got a nice impulse. It's tempting to go, oh, God, well, of course it's going to go. Well, that's the FOMO on your shoulder. Saying, well, of course, oh, God, I don't want to miss it. Well, let's say that you're of the opinion that this, because for whatever reason, just bullishness of the crypto space, right? That you're thinking that, okay, the 2 is in. So let's think about that. Well, first that's going to be, oh shit, how are you going to do that? Let's see if we can even do it on a lower time frame. That doesn't work. You got to clear 5 here. So the 5 down here. Let me get I guess maybe I can move this, but over here, right? We've got a very, very clear 5 down, right? We can all agree that, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So as is always the case with Elliott Wave, right? We finish and start in 5s, right? So there's the 5 that could be the finish. Well, okay, that means you're going to have to, again, I'm a pretty strict Elliott here. If that's 1, 2, well, that doesn't work. So this would have to be, God, can you even do it? This would have to be WXY. That's the only way you can make that fly. Again, applying Elliott Wave, right? Because this would have to be ABC. It's not optional. It would have to be. All right, let's see if we can carry on, right? Just to play devil's advocate. Okay, you're going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, maybe you could get that to fly. So 1, 2, it's a deep 2, but it holds the pivot. Okay, you could probably talk yourself into a clean 5 there. Good 3. Another, okay, maybe. All right, let's go with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring that down here. Now I'm aware of the clock now. Oh shit, hang on. I mean, so part of what I'm doing here is just kind of trying to be sensitive to what I know, and someone who's learning, who's still new. I mean, this may be the process that you're going through, going, oh, okay, well, geez, I want to get long here. So can I get long? Can I apply some Elliott Wave here and make sense of that? Hang on. Okay, well, let's stick with it and see if we like the outcome, because often there's a little bit of that with Elliott Wave. Well, that's not what I want. Where you're just kind of going, okay, you're kind of trying it on for size. Do I like the feel here? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Well, that's kind of what you're stuck with. This would have to be. Oh Jesus, let's go to a 2 here. So that I can't say I like that. That looks like a 3. Okay, but let's play with it. Okay, 1, 2. You can't get an impulse in there, so you're kind of stuck with it. Going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can probably get away with that. So you're oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's change that. I'm getting mighty tiny here. Let's go something that stands out here. Okay, so is that what we're at? Is that what you're thinking? Of course, as soon as you're doing that, you'd have to recognize that one of the choices as an alternate would be A, B, C. Wouldn't that be somewhere in the back of your mind? You're thinking, okay, well, if that's 1, if I've got a 5 and a 3, couldn't that be A, B, and C? We're going in here. So if this is WXY, could this be another X? You can't. This has to stay as a combo, because you can't go A, B, C. You can't work the C. You don't have a C. You have an A, you have a B, and you have a C. So working backwards, you're forced into the W here, which this process of elimination, which is one of the great advantages of Elliott Wave. You're kind of looking at the, okay, best case, worst case. If I'm wrong here, well, let's just think of it. If my analysis here is incorrect and this just continues to rally higher, and it's not so much about being incorrect, it's more just what's the probabilities here, and does it look like we could be done here? You know, again, I just did the bar count for you. So we went 500 bars, and we're going to correct it or days, and we're going to correct it in 34 days. It's not that it's never happened or that it's not possible. It's just less probable. So if this is going to be a C, well, okay, 1, 2. Are we working on 3, 4? You'd likely be thinking, okay, a higher price. So I would take this to, here. We'll just put the full thing on. So we'd have golden zone 786. So maybe up in here, this A, B, C, we're looking for an impulse to complete. So, do I have anything? Let's see, I do. This we'd be in the 3, but it'd be the same because we'd have an impulse here going into a C. A, B, C. So if this is W, X, Y, X, Z. If we're going to get a big crypto push now with, well, at least Bitcoin threatening new all-time highs, ETH doesn't look so good. But if we're going to get this, okay, let's think about what the downside is of waiting, right? So, are you going to buy it right here? That's the first question. You say, oh, well, if it's bullish, what, you're going to buy it right here? You're going to buy right into the 50, right into a fair value gap with a golden zone right above? I would propose that would be foolish. I'm not saying you couldn't get through. I'm just saying all we get to work with is odds, percentage, probabilities, and what's staring you in the face. That's Algo's already tapped it a little bit. So so essentially what you're saying is I have so much conviction in the bullish momentum here and just the rise of Rose Oasis and just the alts in general that I'm going to buy it in the highest probability location for an algo to kick to send it down. Is that where you want to buy it? By all means, by no means am I saying don't buy it. I'm just saying, if you're applying this methodology, that would be a foolish place to buy it. That's all I'm saying, right? No, that does not mean that this can't go off to the moon. It's never, ever what I'm saying. Right? Does that make sense? Right? So what I'm looking for is a deeper retracement here to take more time, because when I come back here, we're going to do all this right in this. Well, look how much time. Right? It just doesn't balance. Again, it's not like it's never happened before. It's just right. That's Abby. That's Abby normal. What does it normally do? You want to trade with normie, right? You don't want to put money at risk with needing something atypical to happen. That's a fool's errand. You might get it, but if you continually do that, just a matter of time before you blow up. Or you learn, right? It's one or the other, right? That's often the way it goes in trading. You come in, you're all like fired up, you're excited, you get a little knowledge, right? And you run into the market and you just absolutely get your ass handed to you. You realize, not the easy money you thought it was going to be, right? So the Lambo catalogs go into the closet. And you're like, I'm going to have to work on this a little bit more. This isn't just going to be easy money, right? Most traders will tell you, this is the hardest easy money you'll ever make. It's so deceptive, right? Because it looks, well, how fucking hard can it be? It's going to go up or it's going to go down, right? That's what the new trader thinks. Yeah, and in your feed, you've got, I see them too, right? Oh, crypto trader turns 10K into 6 million with Shibu in 10 days, right? I mean, you see that shit all the time, right? That is not the norm. That is not the norm. So what you have to do is just be mindful of where the risk is. That's really what it comes down to, right? This is I've said this for 5 years. This part, that's the fun. That's the fun part. Puzzle solving, right? Assuming you're into that, right? You kind of have to be a techno geek to get into this, right? My wife says, "Oh my God, I cannot believe you stare at those charts all day long," right? How boring. She has a point, right? Unless you're into it, and then then it's a lifelong challenge, right? That you'll never master, right? It's ultimately about mastering yourself. So I'll avoid any puns there. So if you were looking at this, is that a rational decision to make? You might think yes, right? Because I'm so bullish. I would propose that even if it breaks, right? This is going to need to confirm for me. 1, 2, okay, show me that we've got a big impulse here. And still, at what point do we stop thinking at ABC? Right? Because we could expand the B. I mean, we could literally do that. But that now, if it's a WXYX, now we're getting a little too far, right? So I wouldn't want to see it go too much beyond that. If it's going beyond that, then I'm like, okay, well, all right, so think about it. Okay, if it does that, and I'd look at this and say, okay, well, clearly I was wrong. So what are we waiting for? The 4 to the 5. So can you get that? Or is that not a more what's the word? Just perhaps responsible or professional way to approach this? Confirm that I've got the impulse here. The retrace will come, because if it's going to be an impulse, it's going to have 5. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to get the 5. I'll wait. Let it confirm. Break the golden zone, so I'm not buying in the highest risk location for a long. So I'm not doing that. I'm also, right, if you just think of a swing low, swing high, I'm buying in the premium, not the discount. Okay, right, so I'll take the 4 to the 5. And avoid the sphincter clenching. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, I hope it breaks, I hope it breaks, I hope it breaks, right? Why put yourself through that? That's no reason to do that. My opinion. All right, I'm trying to stay on my schedule here. I got my guys. They're timing me, 15 minutes a chart. Okay, so that's Oasis Network for fellow trader. I hope that gives you a few things to think about. I never tell you what to do. I just give you some things to think about. Okay, let me keep going. So never give back. Love that handle. Never give back. Well, he sent me this. Oh, got a blue screen. Should mention that. So he's looking at natural gas futures in a nice impulse here, it would appear. All right, so we've got this. That's good work, right? To identify the wedge here into the 1, 2. And I'm not sure what that is. That RSI line is here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, or it's 4 in. What are we doing? Triangle. We're going sideways, right? How do we identify the 4? It's not 100%, but often the 4 is where you'll notice that we've stopped progressing the trend, right? Up, retrace, up. Oh, sideways. Likely the 4. So since he sent me that, I don't think there's anything else here. Hang on. Itch. Okay. Okay, so I can get rid of that, I think. All right, so here's natural gas. Here, let me take the market structure off at first, right? So let's just recreate his count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get that. Oh, come here. We can go, let's go minuet here. Why not? I know that's annoying. Classic 4 right here. Yeah, I mean, this is a good TA, right? So right off the bat, this is okay, right? So this is very Wyckoffean, right? cause and effect. Accumulate, 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 accumulate. Grab liquidity. Here's the push, right? So here's where breakout traders, right? Well, here's where a breakout trader would look and say, see. Okay, all right. So, did you hold here or did you get stopped out? And then it went. Neither here nor there, right? So as we look at it now, okay, what do we got here? A, B, C, D, E? Maybe. I don't see why not, right? So I don't see anything that would prevent that from being a valid, what do you call that, a barrier triangle for the 4. It's good here. We're out of a squeeze. RSI is over 50 and rising. Clearly the 3 of the 3, the 4. Long little 4 here as we get the contraction. So you have volatility bands here. So contracting volatility, RSI is climbing. What now? If you're going anything in the energy space in the futures market, well, you have to know what you're doing there. That can get very expensive if not, right? So certainly options are a choice that you might consider. If you're a regular trader of energy futures, well, then you know the risks associated, right? And it's not an inexpensive market to trade, right? So you risk tolerance has to be at the absolute forefront of your mind. I mean, I would, futures, it's a different ball game, right? So we've got to be very precise, right? So what do we got here? Do I do it there? Actually, it looks like you do it right here. That's on a 15-minute. So let me do it this way so you see it. Okay, so let me get that up there so it's tight. Okay, so as you've heard me say 25 to 50,000 times, the market doesn't matter. Time frame doesn't matter. Asset class doesn't matter. This algo is always going to be there. So here we've gone from what did we start with? A 4-hour down to a 15-minute retrace. Where's the pivot? As I say every week, I can't make this stuff up. Boom. Note, not the 618 golden zone. Right. So where are we anticipating? Right. Well, that's 1618 right there. Right. You guys know this, right? So the reason I use that negative 100 is because I can do this and show you that. Right, there's the high probability zone for wave 3. Now, does that look like a good wave 3? Not really. Let's go down to a 5. 1, 2. That looks good. Actually, that actually might work. Right, so let's actually get that in there. So if that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Looks like you might have that in play there. Oh, let's go to the blue. We can get that out of there now. It's not bad, right? So, I mean, this is, if you're going to trade futures like this with whether it's crude or natural gas, right? The precision has to be spot on. So let's finish it, right? Every component of the methodology, right, adds value, right? So I kind of get this 4 to play ball with me, right? Where's the high probability location for a 4? All right, so hopefully you see, right? You've seen me do this for 5 years, right? Always the same way, every time. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, right? So 1, 2, 3, right? It's a decent 4. Now we're not out of the woods there yet, right? So you'd like to see that. I think we had crude inventories today. So that's what's causing the volatility there. What do I have? Retrace 50. That's not very deep here for the 4 to be retracing, but if we're going to hold the 50, which is I will tell you, much more important. The 50 much more important than the 60, the 7, or the 70, 30, 80, 20, whatever you're using. The 50 is what matters in the RSI, right? That shows us we're trending. I would encourage you to use caution. You can't trade this by itself just because it's over. What are we using here? 70. That's not a sell signal. It's a cautionary signal, right? But not a sell. That's been taught incorrectly for many, many years. You gonna take that? That's. What's your edge there? Right. Well, it's the overlying the 5-wave structure here is pretty good, but as it sits right there, you're. Be cautious there. Oh, we get any market structure on that? That'll take a minute. That kind of leaves you. Well, I mean, they cleared out stops on both sides now. So if you're going to take that, you're kind of stuck. What your stop's going to have to be here. There's almost no way around it, right? They blew stops on both sides, right? So everybody gets cleared out there. That's the danger of these kind of markets when you're holding a position like this with tight stops. This is a 5-minute going through an oil inventory report, right? Both sides get bent over. But the Elliott Wave structure stays intact. So gun to your head, right? That would be a buy, right? Stop under the pivot. Is that worthwhile? It's 3-to-1. Jesus, I can't even recall. I don't think they have a micro natural gas. They might. I haven't looked at it. I don't know if they have a micro natural gas, but if they did, or I would trade if I had a target up here of, I got, $2.80, $3, I might do it with options. But there's the TA. 1, 2, 3. You'd like that a little bit softer for the 4, but it doesn't look like you're going to get it. So there's your 3-to-1 trade on a 5-minute chart, which is, there you go. Okay, never give back. Hope that helps a little bit. Okay, I got Mo. That's a good avatar. Okay, Mo, what do we got here? So we're looking at BZZ. Never heard of it. BZZ on OKX. Let's see. John Howard. There's John Howard. Stopping in. John Howard. All right, let me copy that. All right, what is, BZZ, Swarm. Okay, that makes sense. BZZ, Buzz. Wow, he's got a lot of shit on here. Okay, all right, so this is a guy who's into TA. Mo, I like it, right? Now, careful, right? Sometimes paralysis of analysis can get the better of you. You'll find that the better you get, the less the less of this you'll use, right? You'll find 1 or 2 that you like, but this is working for you. I'm not suggesting to stop what you're doing, right? So we got that's right on the edge of a corner. Do we get it? Not quite golden, but good looking work. 1, 2, 3. Shit that does not happen accidentally. Now, seriously, does anybody here think that's coincidental? That we don't overlap that 1? I'm going to assume that you know better. Okay, so let's take that out of it. Oh, here, I'm going to do this just it helps me. My old brain. Okay, this is just what I'm used to. All right, so 3, 4, 5. Well, other than the deep retracement here, which is a little bit discouraging. So what? Oh, let's see. That's an 8-hour. Let's go down to a 2. That's, what do you got there? Oh, that's what do you got there? That's kind of interesting. What do you got there? You've got, oh, so this is, oh, I like that. So that's your platinum, as I call them, right? So the deeper retracements beyond the golden zone. I kind of like the way you've done that. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. So good work there, Mo. All right. So what do we got here? How do we deal with this, right? So we got to finish. We start or finish with a 5. So this looks like a series of 3s. 3, 3. Well, it's so. I mean, here's your. Well, let's look at that for a second. I'm gonna fuss with this a little bit here, Mo, just to check these, right? So what we want to see is, okay, is this an algo-driven move lower? That's what we're checking here, right? So how do we start? Let's look at a few of these, right? So there's a clear 50, but let's just get the golden zones on here. So I'd check all of it myself. Right, just each one, right? Is this a series? Right, so there's the first one, to and through, right, easily. So we know they used it, right? So we know that this is a pivot that they used, right? So if I get it right on there, right, we know they use this, right? So that becomes a candidate for later on in the sequence because I know the algo used it. Do you see how that works? Genuine question, right? Do you guys follow what I just did there? Right, so this is an algo pivot, right? They use that. Now I'm going down to the next low. I've never looked at this chart before. It doesn't matter. I don't care, right? Because I know what I'm going to find, right? So here's the next one. Now we know they use this one, so we're looking here. So before we even get there, you can see what happened here, right? That's liquidity, right? That was just a stop run. So now, you know, I haven't pulled it, but it looks like we'd be fairly close. I promise you guys, Mo and I did not coordinate to set this up for you. That's just how I've been telling you this for 5 years. It's not why it moves, it's how it moves. 1, 2, 3 in a row. He's probably got another one here. But see, there's the target down here. So you look at that and you think, okay, well, why would I? So we know an algo is driving this. Why would I assume that it's not going to make its target here? Well, because another algo is going to be stepping into it right in front of it right here. Okay, let's go to a 4 here and see if we can make sense of that. So from this low, here's the next algo. Now, for it to reach its target, it's got. That's how it works, right? It's got to break this guy. It's got to break that algo, right? Well, this is a bigger algo, right? Because of the size of the swing. Now, doesn't mean it couldn't break to get to that target, but I certainly wouldn't sell it here, right? Given this, even though, like, but you know, where's your stop here? You're going to take all of that. You're going to take it all the way back. I think probably not, right? So what you're waiting for is, let's see what happens here. Do they sweep that? And then what happens here? I don't even know what that is. That's some sort of heat map. What do we got there? So this is that's actually quite good. I use that a lot in the futures. I don't know what that is. The capo curve, don't know what that is. The DMI and the RSI, right? Of course. Well, this is all negative. ADX is not, well, where are we there? We're below, I mean, the most generous would be over 18, right? But we're not even over 20, right? So trend is still lower. So, or trend less, right? We don't really have a trend per the ADX. There's no trade here. What you're waiting to see is, okay, really, did you lock this? You're waiting, you might have. Did you lock it? No. You're waiting to see, do we need to do this? That's really the next thing you're asking. What's the reaction here? Right? Do we take, well, given how technically precise this is, right? Wouldn't you, if we break this pivot, wouldn't you be kind of interested right here? And I'm not saying that you sit here with a limit order. I'm saying show me the reaction there. If you want to be strict about it, you'd have to break that pivot, right? That you'd have to break this because that drove the, if it hadn't done it yet. If it breaks that, well, that's the swing high that broke that. So you'd have to get up here and then take this one. That's the one you'd want to take, right here, right? Rather than try and catch the falling knife, even though there's an algo there. Now, if you take a swing at it, you might get the pivot, right? You certainly would understand why. Oh shit! Hang on. Oh, allergy is going to be the death of me. Okay, So that's my view here. You're just a little bit, or it's just there's no edge here. If anything, the edge is to the bears. But again, it's like we were just looking at the last one. You're going to buy right at the 50, between the 50 and the golden zone. You might get away with it, but over time, you're just going to look at it and you're going to see it reject, just like this, right? Somebody bought it there. Somebody bought it there. Somebody bought it there. Do you think they knew there was a golden zone there? Probably not. Probably not. So what? We're in logs here. All right, pretty nice little channeling could be added to this. Wait, right? Don't be in a hurry, right? Markets are not going anywhere, right? It's the hurrying, it's the FOMO. Those are the things that get you into trouble, right? And it's the kind of thing, it's very hard to undo it. Once you do the damage, you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, I can't get it back, right? And then what happens, believe me, I've lived it. And I've lived it not only with myself, but through hundreds of clients. Then it's, oh shit, I got to get that back in a hurry. I fucked up. God damn it. Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm going to get that back. So I'm going to go bigger on the next one, right? So I can get that back. That's I know you're going through it. Every trader goes through that. It doesn't matter who you are. I swear to God, it doesn't matter, right? I've lived it and seen thousands of people do the same thing. So then you're going bigger on the next one because I got to make that back because I fucked up here. And that is how a small problem turns into a big problem. This turns into a blown account, right? Got to make it back in a hurry, right? You got to do the exact opposite, right? You got to slowly grind your way back, right? Through little singles. You can't swing for the fence anymore, right? You can't do that when you're down. You can't swing for the fence, right? Seems counterintuitive. Well, I have to swing for the fence, man. I got to make it back. No, it's just digging a deeper hole. Okay. Hopefully you got some insight there on Swarm Mo. Oh, this is a toughie. Oh, I like this one. Indurite J. Hi, it's Ingrid again. Can we have another look at BNB? I don't know if Ingrid is... Looks like it's a woman. We have so few women here. I'm always glad to see one. Okay, Ingrid. No chart, but let's see what we're doing here. BNB. I'm assuming BNB on... I mean, does anybody trade it on other exchanges? Let's go there. It broke all-time high. Any price discovery targets would be appreciated. Okay, Ingrid, let's take a look here. Let's go out to a daily. What a comeback, right? So let's see. Has Bitcoin done it yet? Not quite. This is kind of what we're all anticipating Bitcoin's going to do. I mean, there's COVID. It's almost identical wave structure. Well, let's think about it. Okay, so so it's kind of like Bitcoin. You got to go, oh, is that? Because technically we don't get a new high here. So the Bitcoin count would have you. Okay, we'll work backwards into that. Here's the Bitcoin count. Nice little suspect here, right? Is that the 5, or are we doing the 5 over here? It's a tricky one. Oof. Well, okay, so just like, I haven't looked at this in a while. Okay, so if we're straight down here, there's a 3. 3, 5. Okay, right. So if you're like, oh no, this is all fresh meat over here, I'm not so sure. Let's look at this here. This is a tricky one, actually. Well, they're all kind of tricky, but well, can we label this? Looks like you can get a 5 there. 3, 3, 5. Well, 3, that's clearly we can spot the 4, right? The 4 is usually the easiest thing to spot. So we can go 3, 4, 5. Now, this is going certainly, Ingrid, this is certainly going to affect the projections as to whether we're projecting for 5, 3. Oh, this is a tricky one indeed. Okay, so let's just add a little bit to it. I'm assuming you see the issue here. Right? This would be different than Bitcoin because Bitcoin's this is the 5th, right? And then we've done the 2. If I take it out of log scale, right, it looks quite different, right? But perhaps reinforces the idea that this is not the 5. No doubt that's a tricky one. All right, let's keep digging with that. So let's come in. Let's focus on this section here. So just to finish that up, this would be A, B, C here, and let's go up. Put that in green. All right. Okay. So this would be the 4. Now let's get this up. Now, I'm not locked in on this yet. Great example of a chart that I would reach out to my team and say, here's what I'm seeing, guys. Well, so right, use the tools. When in doubt, let's start measuring. It's the length of the 2, right? That's the problem here. I think we'd have to rethink that, right? So this 4 cannot work with that 2, right? It's just too far, right? So right there, just looking at it, right look. No, we don't have the right look. So actually, it gets much more bullish if you really start to play with it. If this is 1, 2, this can't be 3, 4. It cannot be. That cannot be the, well, shit, anything's possible, but that can't be the 4 to this if this is the 1, 2. So that leaves you, now you're circling back here. Oh, shit, I'm going to go over this right. Well, but again, I guarantee you, right? Anyone who's looking at this chart is wrestling with the same thing. Okay, do I have to come back here and do this like Bitcoin? I don't really want to, right? Because of the 4 here. That's the 4. This is going to be corrected here and done. And then I don't think so. Well, just, does it have the right look, right? Always question, right from Elliott's mouth, right? Does this have the right look, right? And we're going to truncate there? I think not. Well, let's compare that to the alternate. I can get these back up here. Better? Well, certainly the 2 and the 4 is much better in terms of right look, assuming that matters to you. I'd be inclined to be looking over here, but that can't be the 4 to that 2. So this has to be the 4. This has to be an internal 4, so this is all still coming. This is all, Jesus. So this has to be just the internal. I'm going to get down to micro here. That is not connected. Oh, let's go down here. Super tiny. Oh, let's go yellow so it stands out. This has to be the 1. Ooh, this gets very bullish. Now, my view, this has to be the 1 of the 3 because that 4 cannot be that 2. Well, again, theoretically, right, that would just be terribly imbalanced. So 1, 2, we're working on 1 over here. 1, 2. Pretty bullish, right? That's where I come out on it. Oh, what have I not used here? White. All right, so 1, 2, working on 1, deeper 2 before you go. All of this still to come. Boy, that's crazy bullish. Okay, right. So how's this as a 4? Right. So just now it's back just double checking your work compared to typical. What does it typically do? Where's the highest probability location for a wave 4? Right there. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going higher. If we're going to have a big ripping bull market, we're going higher. Right? Is my view. Obviously, I could be wrong. Right. I don't love connecting this out this far, but the of the two, I'm surprised I don't already have a few TMs from some of my Elliott wizards. But as I look at that, just based off length of time of 2, I couldn't abide by that being. Well, here, let's rethink it. Just one last time before I get off of this. Come here. Could this be the 3? That would be the alternate. I'll get out of here. We're going to do 3, 4. This may be a better fit, actually. Well, it's a high-class problem, right? Are we completing a 1 up here? Hopefully you see something that you've heard me kind of preach for a long time is the disconnect between. All right, it looks a little bit better here. If this is going to be 3, 4, 5, right? Here, I'm going to get you out of there. If this is going to be 3, 4, 5, we'd be 3, 4, 5. You'd have to double this to accommodate that extra. Can we do it in a half? Yeah, we can. Not quite. I would do it. Let's see how we get here. We might be able to do that, and then a sliding parallel. That may be. So there you go. Right, just a little bit of back and forth. Have a look at it. Does it look right? Welcome to the sausage making. Looks like that actually may, after looking at all those possibilities, that may be the better solution. So the implication is we're approaching the top. Now we put in the rest of it. Okay, so let's consider the ramifications of that. No, I don't. I'm assuming there's no additional history. And I'm going to change that color. Let's go to green. Okay, all right, so up for the 4, 5 here of 3, 4, 5. So what do we end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right look? Pretty abrupt launch, but the rest of it. Now we don't have this, right? We don't have the 4. But after back and forth a little bit to and through, right? I think that's a reasonable. It's a snapshot in time. Any Elliott count is just a snapshot in time. Where are we? 1, 2, working on the 3, the big 3. So we could take this down actually. Working on the big 3. So very bullish. So let's continue with the measuring, right? So this is a historical measure. Okay. Again, do I know what's going there? No. Where does it usually go? Where's the highest probability location for a wave 3? It's not rocket science. That's just application. All I did there was kind of go through the just go through the application of applying our methodology. That's all I did. Now, I don't know that it's going there, but would you bet against that? Why? So what are we doing right now? This is a break of structure. So if we're going to keep going, all right, let's put that back in context here, right? So what we have here, as we put in the new all-time high, well, it's not quite there yet. Right, that's a break of structure. What do we anticipate? There's nothing is absolute in the market, but what can we anticipate after a break of structure? Retrace 4 to the 5. Again, I don't know where that goes, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 3 for the 4. It's what they usually do. Okay, I think we got that. Hope that helps, Ingrid. How are we doing here? Oh, shit. Oh, man, you guys had a lot. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I got John Howard is giving us STX. I know this is one he's hot for. John Howard being GZ1968 on my team. And let's copy this here and save that. What's the market doing? Okay, so you gave me a 3-day, which means I know there's going to be other stuff in here. Okay, so this is good looking, right? There's the RSI poking over 50. So this is mighty bullish. I wonder what the timing is. Something here. Okay, so that's a 3-day. Let's go to the 1-day. Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay, so we're taking length of bars, right? So again, he's kind of working off of some of the things that I was dealing with in those earlier charts we were looking at, is the balance of time. Again, I famously said time more important than price. I'm not sure I'd agree with that, but it's not been my experience, but certainly it's important, right? So, okay, one. Okay, so here we are, stacks tether on the daily, swing low, what golden zone, right? So it looks like that needs a little bit of a tweak here, and I know he probably locked that. Is that? No, I think we're okay there. Okay, so I'm going to do this just for my own sanity so I can see it. Okay, all right, so here, again, this is just odds, nothing more, right? So we have a golden corner here. What does that mean? We have 80% probability to get there. Not 100%, 80% that we get there. 80% not good enough? Well, I would beg to differ, right? That's as good as you're going to get, period. Period. There's no trade with better odds. And you've got an algo, right, with a machete clearing a path for you. Okay, so we've got, so where would that put us, right? So if this is a complete, where are you pulling from? Well, that's an interesting choice. Why are you pulling from that? Because that's a clusterfuck, certainly. Okay, so start of the 1. Correction 60 days, 618 fib. Therefore, it's a 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1, 2, and so this would be we'd be going into the 1 of the 3, right? If that's the target up there, which here's his 1618 up here for the 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're at 239. That's oh shit! I missed it. Oh god, I can't get that. Oh no. 7 to 1. Oh, jeez, only losers take 7 to 1s. It's too late now. Missed it. Did you? Did you? Well, I mean, you know, when you're late to a party like this, hopefully John Howard has got some of this. I'll bet he does. When you're late to the party like that, okay, well, what? Now we kind of look at this, right? Let's not be reckless about it. Oh shit! Let's see. I just did this one. What did I call it? 50. I think that's what I did. All right. So because we're in log scale, right? So I can get a. Here's the discount, right? Are we in the discount? No. We're essentially buying at full retail. You might say, okay, well, what if that's my target here? Is it any better now? You just entered retail. Who buys at retail pricing? Retail. Who doesn't buy at retail? Oh, there's my 15-minute timer going off. Shit. Here, I'm not doing great on my timer. Okay, I'm gonna try again. Okay, who buys here? Right, that's just straight up. We just swept some liquidity here. We got more here. Right? There's plenty of liquidity available here. Oh, let's get. Oops. Let's see what the imbalances are above. Right. So there's one. Right. So we've got multiples up here. Break of strike. Well, you're kind of late, right? You are kind of late. I mean, that's markets don't do the, well, it's not like it's never happened, but that's atypical, right? We don't want to be trading abnormal. We want to be trading normal. Well, look at the RSI, right? We're kind of hot here. You've just swept some liquidity here. So that would be a change of character. It's not a break of structure. They'd have to get to that, right? So at some point here, it's a combination of number of things, right? So, but for retail that's in this, oh my God, I got in at $1.79. I'm almost up $1, right? The temptation to take profit is going to be overwhelming, right? Because they're not professionals. The temptation to take profit rather than let it run is overwhelming, right? So the average retail trader can't hold it. They just can't, right? It's like a kid holding a pea. They just can't hold it. They got to relieve that tension, which is what causes I don't know where that came from. That's what causes the retrace, right? So, here, and it's the first, oh shit, okay, oh fuck, God, I entered late, damn it. Okay, well, what is the first little A wave, right? And the B is them going, I'm okay. Nope. Right, because they aren't looking for threes. Now, I'm improvising, what's going to happen here. I don't know, right? For all I know, that goes to the moon. But would I buy that? Absolutely not. Why, right? There's no edge here. I don't care how high. I seriously, I'm not being just a smart ass here. I don't care how high that goes. I don't buy trades like that. I wait, and just at some point it's going to top. Even if it breaks that, oh wait, break. If we got up here and we swept that, what would that be? Break of structure, right? This change of character. Break of structure. What do we anticipate after a break of structure? A retrace. Now I can buy it, discount. Right? I can buy it down here with the professional traders, not up here with the retail traders. That's not complicated, but it's very easy to say. Very easy to say, right? The average person, shit's going up, man. I'm buying it. Well, I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm just saying, what is your edge? It's going up. That's your edge? Really? If it were that easy, right? Something to think about. Let it do what it's going to do. The retrace will come. Okay, thanks for that one, George. Oh shit, did I get everything you asked for? You wanted a 1? I think I did. ABC, here's our low, right? So 1. So this is the 2 he's talking about. Wait, don't be a pig. Pigs get slaughtered. Okay, what do I got? Crypto Ray. Okay, Crypto Ray. This is at least it has been. That's maybe the most disappointing chart on the board today. Oh, we got Bitcoin moving. ETH. That's barely a pulse. Well, what as we've talked before, right? How do we identify the 4? Right, it's where you've lost the progression of the trend. This is a little okay, but what happened here? I think that's left over from Friday, right? So what do we have here? That's a break of structure. What happens after the break of structure? What do we anticipate after the break of structure? Retrace. That's why you don't buy breakouts. Who buys breakouts? Retail. What do we got here? You want to do a triangle there, but it's a really kind of it's odd. It's like it doesn't quite feel like a triangle. I mean, that's a 4-hour. How would you do it, right? You'd be thinking A, B, C, D, E. It looks better drawing it than actually what's here. Well, let's try a line drawing. It's a gun to my head, right? I'd buy it, but that's not a great looking setup. Why the stagnation, right? It's got to be occurring to you. Why, right? We got Bitcoin, kicking here. Why is ETH stagnant? I just see as that's a little bit of a cautionary sign right there. Why are we not going here? We've already, this was kind of weird. We having to do the 4 here into that 5. That's a little weird. The retrace here, okay, that's right where it should be, 23 to 38. Okay, we got a big imbalance. That's already been mitigated, right? So we don't have to worry about that. This is sitting down here untouched, just virgin turf down here, right? So could we go that low? We could. What's causing that, right? So is this just the lack of clarity on, okay, are we getting through the regulatory shit? Are we clear? Maybe not, right? The market doesn't seem to think so. What's the next hurdle the market has to get through? Right. Got to get through 38.69, where there will be software just sitting there, right, looking to take it down here. That's, to me, that's, well, if you're buying there, you're just buying the trend. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm just saying that's not a great looking setup, right? I mean, it's like it down here a whole lot better. We're right back to the very first chart where I said, would you buy it between the 50 and the golden zone? Would you? I'm genuinely asking, would you buy that? That's making some big assumptions. Well, of course it's going to break the 50 in the golden zone. That is probably the most dangerous thing you could possibly even think. You never assume it's going to break. Always assume it's going to hold, right? Make the market prove it to you. Just out of curiosity, do we have any bull side here that's working? Yeah. Make a case, right? So you're oh, are we? If I get that out of there. Golden zone, right? So what's your edge here? You're just in a fib fight. I promise you, who's ever on the other side of that doesn't care which way it breaks. They don't care. Right, they buy it here, they sell it here, they don't care. Right, so, but do you want to buy that? I'd suggest that's a hold. Dr. Alban. All right, like SUI linear scale. Oh shit, I gotta go over here. Dr. Alban. Okay. All right, so let me see what we're thinking. Dr. Alban likes his indies up top, which is okay with me. I'm gonna change it just because I'm old brain. Okay, all right, so let's get this up here. That's looking good. That's good work. Let's see what we're doing here. So we're gonna truncate there, which is, oh, looks, is it a double? Looks like it's pretty close right here. All right, so what do we have here? We have equal lows. All right, so okay, that all right, so this is pretty tempting down here for an algo for a potential sweep. Interestingly, they didn't sweep the stops here. Oh, let's get our, I like to use this because it just shows me where the order blocks that I'm going to want to pay attention to, or the supply demand zones here, whatever you want to call it. What is that? Trout addict. Oh, never. Trout addict. That looks kind of interesting. I'll have to look into that one. A, B. Oh. Well, right. So right off the bat, right, again, not being critical, I'm just kind of, you know, when you tee something up like this, then your job, it's not my job, it's your job to say, okay, where would there be some issues with this? I'm not saying this is not right. It's just, as I draw it up here, this would be the first thing I'd go, oh, okay, right? Is there an alternative? Because the 2 to the 4 here is pretty wackadoodle. If that's a word. Is that what you'd want, right? Do you want to put money on the line? Do you want to put money at risk off of that? Well, so number one, I've got a dramatic missizing between 2 and the 4. I've got a truncation down here. So already, oy. All right, it's a little, we're in Abbey territory here, right? It's a little Abbey normal. Okay, so I got a low here. I got a pivot here. Okay, it's a 50. Oh shit, come here. I'm going too fast. Here, I'm timing myself. I gotta be. All right, let's try again. All right, if that's the one, Well, interesting, right? So algo doesn't care about your Elliott count, right? Doesn't, oh, expanded Bs. Well, oh, we're not, no, this is going to take dominant to dominant, right? 50 to the tick, right? So interesting right here, we have two pivot lows at the 50, right? Which would make you lean into the idea that I've got a 2. Okay, if I've got a 2 there and this is going to hold as a, the 1 is good. The 3 is good. Ugh. Well, the 5 is not so good. You can't get an impulse there. So that, so okay, right. So I guess the point here is okay. This is a little problematic. So again, I would draw it again here. Is there an impulse there, right? Because that's the implication. If you're thinking, oh, the low is in, well, you get an impulse. You get an impulse in there. This would have to be the 1, 2. That's your 3, 4. Doesn't work. No, that's me, you know, Elliott hat on, strict Elliott, doesn't fly. Doesn't fly. You can't get an impulse in here. Jesus, I mean, even if I force fit it. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 diag. God damn, that's ugly. But this becomes your 3. Now let's see if we can do it. Here, hang on. Before I don't want to be overly critical of Dr. Altman here. 1, 2. This would have to be a 4, 5. Maybe we can do it here. Hang on. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, it'd have to be here. One, 2, 3, big overlap. So you'd have to do it as a diag. Oh, I can't say I love that, but you A, B, C. God. Well, I mean, there's a certain part that goes. Oh, fuck, does it matter? But you know, if you're putting money on the line, you might want at least just be aware of it. I guess that's what I'm saying. Okay, so how about this one? Anybody going to be surprised about what we see there? I'm going to guess not. Looks like that's the highest high. No man's land, but okay. Well, let's tee this up for the most optimistic scenario here. All right, we'd be looking for the 3 up here. Let's take that up a degree. 1, 2. Right. Again, can't make that up. So we've got 50 golden zone, meaning what can I do now? Right. Once I've got that golden corner. Meaning, all right, I have a good pivot here. As long as this pivot holds, I have 80% odds that I get there. All right, doesn't change, right? So what's the big hurdle it's going to have to get through for first to get to the algo target? It's got to break that golden zone where there will be resistance. Period. There will be. I'm assuming I don't even need to say that, right? Of course there will be. We're going to get a 3, 4, 5. Okay, well you're a little bit late here. Hour. How are we counting that? Well, there's a 3 to correct it. I don't know. It looks like it might be in the game. Jesus, that is. Oh God, can you even do that? Uh-oh, there's my 15 minutes here. See, I'm fucking up again. I'm taking too long. All right, well, no wonder these guys are telling me I'm taking too long. I am taking too long. Is that what we've got there? Some sort of hideous diag to get started there? Well, it's not an impulse, right? So you're kind of stuck with that. That's kind of gnarly. Let's see, 2 and 4. I guess we're okay then. Well, let's just double check it. Right, 4 has to be longer. Yeah, it is, just barely. All right, so some sort of butt ugly a diag to get that started. Okay, so I got that. I got this, right? So here, this is what you'd be keying off of for your trading, right? That's got a target up here. Got to get through that golden. So next up, what do we have to do? Right? For this to carry on with this count, there's got to be 1, 2. Let's take this one up. It's got to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Put you in white here. So we'd have another. Take you down. All right. So we'd have another one right here. Some sort of 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're getting outside of the framing of the median lines, which might have me considering alternates here. If this is gonna start to push here, well, now we can put a parallel on this. We could just add the 150 to contain that. That goes up here. So if that's gonna hold as a 1, well, this would be the break of structure. I don't know that we're done yet. RSI coming back down. Well, it's not. I'm assuming everybody knows what's next. Right now, we don't know that pivot is in. We don't know that. But that would be the next assumption I would make here. Okay, all right. Well, that's where I would be looking to buy it, right there. Right off of this. And if it keeps going here, right? If maybe you're pulling from higher, you're still looking for the 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Obviously, big resistance up here. That's the target. Going to have to do a lot to get there. 3, 4, 5. End of the day, what can we say here? You're in a big algo box, right? You got to break out of that, right? Eventually they do. They always do, right? They have to, right? We go sideways forever. One side has to break. Always, right? Any golden zone, any pivot that I've shown you, right? There's always one on the other side that failed. Always, right? And there's always one on the other side. Makes it tricky, all right? It's easy to forget that, or just not pay attention to it, and then you're like, what the fuck? Oh, fuck! I forgot to check the golden zone from the other side. God damn. Right, retail does it every day by the thousands. Okay, let me keep going there. Thanks for that one, Dr. Alban. Okay, I got. Mojaka wants the ES. Well, let's go look at the ES. All right, what do I have on here? I've got. That is just an AT. They call it a chandelier stop. It's basically just an ATR stop. I think that's 3 times the average true range. Okay, so this I was just kind of. This for my own work, right? Here's the 4, right? All this, okay. Well, here we go. So with that established, let's clear up the chart a little bit. Just take a look at this. Okay. Well, here was the. We looked at this several times right here. Maybe that's distracting. Here, let me get that off of there. Chandelier exit is what that's called. Okay, so we've looked at this a couple of times, right? So the proposed 1, right, to the 2. Right, you're not anticipating. I've been through this a couple of times. For those that have already seen it, right, we've talked about this. Where's the high probability location for a wave 3? Right where it goes. 1, 2, 3. Come down here. Here's the pivot we're paying attention to. We can't overlap that 1. We come down for the retrace. Goes just wick skip along beyond the 38, but still a good 4. We got a good 3. We got a good 1, 2, 3. A little wacky in here. I don't think I want to put it up here, right? So I think this is A, B, or fuck, how are we doing this? W, X, Y, right? So clearly there's a 3 here. This is as clear as a bell. Is it clear as a bell? Clear as day. W, X, Y, almost doesn't matter. Well, of course, if this is perfect, and this is perfect, and this is perfect, well, the next one's certainly not going to be. Is it? Gets right on that. That's right on the tag, right? Didn't make it into the zone, just tag the 618. Algo's taking profit. So what, all right, if this is the 4, again, this is not rocket science. It's not going to be the 3. All right, we're in the 3. All right, so again, it's the same shit, different day, right? It's exactly the same, exactly the same. So let's label it. Oh, here's that. Maybe that's making that harder. All right, so let's just, while we're doing the Elliott count. Okay, 1, 2, A, B, C. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, that got a little funky. I think we're still working on that. All right, which I can say with some degree of conviction. It's based entirely off of how far we've gone. Okay, so this golden zone to the tick has gotten its target. All right, so now we can go 1, 2. Well, that 3, well, again, same process. Okay, where do they usually go? Might as well put it there. Why would you put it somewhere else? Well, this looks a little the angle's too sharp here, right? Not enough time, right? You want a little more time here. So for this, you'd have to go to channeling, or you can always, right, just in case we have some new people here. Standard, if you switch that to modified shift, it's a channel. That's one of the nice features of a set of median lines, right? You've got all that capability here. So if you don't have to draw, oh, well, I can't use a pitchfork here. I have to use a channel. No, a modified is a channel. Okay, so 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. Looks like we're working on that 3, 4. Back to the median line. Oh, what do I have below here? Let's see. Oh, let's just use our EWO. Oh, I already had them here. That's a CCI, OBV. CCI over 200, right? It doesn't hold that very long. That's a good, actually growing, quite fond of that indicator. Very similar to Stokes. Slightly different. 1, 2. It's a little bit of a wacky start. That makes me want to check that. I think that's another golden right there, or 50. I didn't quite get there. Remember that yesterday. All right, let me get out of here. I'm taking too long. Okay, all right. Now I'm very aware of the time. Okay, 1, 2, look, waiting for that 3, 4. Not much to do here other than wait for. Now we've got the Fed data, right? So this is not a great time to be, unless you're an experienced option trader. You know, you're going to have some volatility coming. Market is anticipating bullishness, although careful, right, about assuming that they're taking it up because they know it's going to, it's going to be bullish for the market. Everything that happens in here, everything, right, is about manipulation. So careful of that. Right now, that's why you can't get sucked into, oh, I'm going to buy it because I know it's going higher because whales are buying it. Careful of that. Where's the next buy? You're going to have to wait for this to pivot, and you're going to have to wait for that to come back, right? So some sort of a 3 to where you can get long here, right? Maybe you're doing it with options, maybe, 0 DT, something along those lines, where you're not, taking the futures risk. Oh shit, you can go to SPYs, something to trade some options where you don't have big dollar risk, going into a Fed meeting and employment data. These are the highest risk events of the week, so I wouldn't be adding aggressively there unless you're a very experienced option trader. Okay, let me keep moving. Oh, my favorite name of all time, Maximo Augusto Damonte. God, that's a great name. Okay, let me get this over here. Okay, we've been through that. Oh, shit, Maximo. Whoa. Okay, warning, white screen coming. Oh, shit. Phew, that startled me. Okay. Yeesh. Phew, it is bright if you haven't been using it for a while. Okay, but I love their work here. Oh, this is great. Love this channeling. Okay, so this is block Oh my God. Let's see. I might have to change this. Let me do, oh shit. How am I going to do this? Let me do it. No, that's the, oh shit. Here, here. I'm going to do this here. That's just too much. I don't think I can do it fast enough here. We'll stay with this, right? So sorry about the white screen here. Okay, so block 1, 2, that's good. 3, 4. Shit. See, you know what? I don't think well, maybe some of it will show. For the 4. Oh, let's see. I think I'm going to lose your stuff if I try and change that background. Let me see if I can make it a little darker. If I go to gray, does that soften it a little bit? Maybe that's better. 1, let's get to log scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of a wimpy 5th, but considering what came off of that. Okay, all right, so what are we doing here? A, B, C, D. Okay, that's good. Here, I'm going to change that color. Let's go to, oh, God, something I can see. Okay. A, well, that's fine, right? It's essentially, we're going sideways, right? Kind of like a 4, B down for the C. So here's a clear 5 to finish it. Okay, so we're coming in on the 1, 2. Oh, I like your work here. It's just hard for me to look at this. Okay, so here's the, oh, he must be pulling from a couple of pivots here. Here, so if I do it, we can look here. Let's change this and make that something blue, right? Okay, all right. So block coming down here. Do we have earnings? They've already had it. This is, what do we get in the news today? Oh, that may be, oh shit, I don't know what that is. Oh, I didn't get it. So we got, oh, there we go. Block is a trending stock. Oh, fuck me. Shit, how did that happen? Well, it's trending down at the moment. So 1, 2. Okay, well, 50. Shit, I'm going to buy this. I like this. Okay, so coming in here at between 58 and here's your golden zone 53, or you got a nice little pocket there. I'd probably trade that in options. Nice here, right? So he's getting, I might take that up just a bit. I might bring it just a hair, right? Come in. Well, typically, if I were trying to position for this, I'd buy some a little bit at the 50. I might take a third at the 50 just in case it doesn't go deeper. And then 1, 2, and you can add again, or a little at the 50. More common to come to the golden zone, but we'll see. And then you're either going to do a third, right, halfway between, or you're going to do 40, 60, something like that. And then the stop doesn't need to be that far down, I don't think. Right, you're playing for a good 2. I mean, yes, a 2 can go further, but if it's going to go, oh shit, that's not going to draw, right? If it's going to go deeper than that, let's see here if I can do it. I'd rather this, if it's going to go deeper, so we're going to get a 786, maybe they come down to this demand zone down here. I'd rather take the small, right? It'll be small loser here. Because look, if it comes this far, right, for it to come back, it's rare. I mean, it does it, right? You can see one here, right, where it does a V like this. That's just not typical. It's a lot. So if you're down here going, oh, okay, oh, great, we're going to go all the way back. Now, clearly it does it. It's just it's a lot to hope for, right? More typically, you'd have something like that. Right, so that would be better if it's going to go bullish, right? You can wait for the retrace, because if it does this, do you still want to be long? I mean, this is just a bad palette to be doing this on, but that's the biggest hurdle, right, that all traders have to deal with. When we get the push here, when we start the retrace, are we just carrying? Oh, let's do it this way. When we start coming this way, let me change that color here. Let's go to green. Do it. No, I'm going to need. Let's try black, right? So if it starts coming down here, you're thinking, oh, okay, pivot 2, right, before we go higher. Well, okay, maybe, right? If you get that golden zone here, now you're thinking here, well, okay, wait, are we just going in a straight line, right? Usually that's not what you run into. What's more typical is you're going to run into the algos on either side of it, right? So now you got this guy. So it makes it so tricky down here. And so you have a couple of choices. If you're not going to try and hold for the breakthrough, right? Because one of them's going to break. It depends how you're trading it, right? And what your risk tolerance is and your size, et cetera, right? And your time horizon. If you're in options, maybe, you'll take the little bounces here. But if it comes down this far here, as soon as it starts back up, you have to know there's a sell side that's going to be right there. Now, here's the other alternative. If it breaks here, right? If it breaks there, okay, so this one's out of the, oops. This one's out, right? So all we have now, if this holds right here, maybe you've got a demand zone down here. So it's going to come deeper. We're not going to sweep the low, right? It's going to hold as a 1-2. Well, now once it starts coming back this way, you have got to remember that guy's there. Right, so it's a lot to anticipate and expect that. That's foolish. You shouldn't expect that. It's more likely it's going to do it in a series of swings. So if it comes up here and hits that resistance, well, then the whole process starts again. Well, now it's coming down here. You have to make that decision. Are we coming here to hit the next golden zone? Is this right? This is what a bull thinks, right? Oh, it comes here, and you're like, oh, well, of course it's going to go. But if it breaks here. Now, oh, shit, what are we doing? Are we breaking this one? Right, because this one has a target down here, and now we've swept the low. This is the trader's conundrum, right? Just in modern trading, because of this algorithm, you have to deal with that constantly. There is no pivot. You don't deal with it. Always, 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 always. You're whether you've thought this through in the same way, you're dealing with it already. Is it going to hold as a 2? Or are we going down here? Right, because this one here, this was an algo. Right, there's its target. That would sweep the low. Now we don't have a 1-2 anymore. So when this is here, that's the decision point. And that's the better trade here. But you see, it would be algo to algo, right? That's all we do is bounce from one algo to the next. So if that starts there, that's a safer place to take it because I've got clear exit here. I know, okay, well, I'm wrong here. Now, it can fuck with you, right? So it can go down here, break that. We still don't break this low. It comes back down to revisit here. Maybe it's a fair value gap. Well, let's see. Maybe you got a fair value gap here. Well, you do have a gap, right? That's just a nature of it being an equity. You got a gap there, and then you got a demand zone down here. So maybe, right, just as SMC theory would suggest, right, you could come back down here because you know there was money committed here to cause that big push. So if we're coming back down here, it can hold, not break that, and now you have to do the whole thing again. Right? This is the bitch of it, right? So now you start coming this way, and you're like, oh, okay, off we go. Well, what are you going to run into? Right, same thing happens, starts all over again. Oh, fuck. Now, do you know, right? Do you know what's next, right? Oh, of course it's going to break. Or is it going to do that? Welcome to modern trading, right? There is no easy answer here. The best ammunition I can give you to deal with that, because we all deal with that, whether you're conscious of it or not, is that the context matters. If it's doing this, right, 1, 2, that would suggest a 5. If it's doing this, that would suggest a 3, and this is the 1, 2 before we go higher, right? Before we get into the 3, right? Here's your A or 1, A, B. Oh, it's deep. Fuck, it's deep, right? I wasn't anticipating that, but we don't sweep the low, so it's still a valid 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's easy after the fact. But when you're right here or right here or right here, you're like, oh, fuck. How do I know? You don't. You don't know, which is why your money management is ultimately the skill that matters, right? Because I can draw these all day for you, right? You can do it. You don't need me to do it. Set your golden zone, you're 50. You can do. There's no chart. You can't find a gazillion of them because that's all the market does. So right when it's coming back here, what would give you the conviction to take that trade? 5. Well, assuming, right, we've got a 5 here. That's a bit shaky as a 5, but let's assume we're going to call this a 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 is a little suspect there, but let's just say because of the nature of the gap here, we're going to go with a 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we're looking for a 3 that stays above that pivot. Period. That's the advantage of Elliott Wave. Right, that SMC, ICT, I don't care. They cannot overcome this. There is no, right? Is it here? Because there'd be a supply zone right here because money had to be committed to cause the break of structure here. So this just goes on over back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's put the mark. You're dealing with this whether you're conscious of it or not. Okay, all right. Do I have a 3 here? Do I get a 5? Now I lock in. Oh shit, it was a 2. 1, 2, 3. But until all of this shit happens, I sure hope it goes. And then ultimately what that means is what matters, what determines your survival is your money management. How much are you risking? Or are you doing stupid shit like, oh, well, I'm going to give it a little more room because I didn't want to get stopped out. That's what most people do. That's why most people lose money. They can't deal with this lack of certainty. There is no certainty in the market, period. The only thing I can tell you that's certain is that there's an algo on either side looking to take your money. That's what I can tell you with certainty. Now, how do you deal with it? Welcome to the challenge. Okay, that's Maximo. Thanks for that one. You gave me something to riff on here. I went too long. All right, now I got to get off that. Hang on. Okay, all right, moving on here because I spent too much time on that. I'm already getting my guys pinging me saying you're taking too long. We said 15 minutes a chart, and there I got all sidetracked. Okay, let me go here. Hopefully that helps. It's worthwhile here. I'm not boring you to death. I never know. It's so weird to talk to yourself for 3 hours or however long I do this here. Let's see if I can get this to come back here. And Maxim, I love your work, right? It actually was very good. Your TA skills are excellent. You've obviously worked on it, right? So I can always tell, right? Someone who's invested some time. Okay. What are you giving me here? Acheron? Is this what you're giving me? Celestia? Oh, well, now we're in the black here. I can actually see these. Is that what you gave me there? Acheron? TIA. Yep, TIA. Okay, hang on one sec. Okay, let's fix my air. It always creeps up. Okay, so. Well, actually, I kind of like your coloring here. I think this is. Do I get. Oh, I guess they stay there. I like your coloring here. It's kind of. I do kind of like that. Okay, I digress. Okay, so let's get to the point here. Okay, so this is. What are we going here from 229 to 21? Do we need to be in log scale? Yep, we need to be in log scale. Looks impulsive, right? It's kind of a. Well, okay, let's tee up the pivot, right? So again, there's a process here. We do it the same way every time. I think we'd have to. Well, that's the big kick here. 1-2 is what my first thought would be here, although that's kind of a sloppy. That would have to be the 4. Is it? 1, 2. A, B, C, 1, 2. Well, we might have to finish that with a diag. Not sure how much that matters. Okay, so let's go down to an A. What have we got on here? We've got a couple of. I was curious what you guys are using. All right, so I got 10, 20, 50, 200. Okay. We're basically sitting at the 200. It's kind of a bumpy ride up here. Look any better here? 1, 2, 3. Not a whole lot. Well, maybe this is just a new asset finding its footing. Doesn't look particularly technical, actually. Or maybe you got a 50 here. Nope. Oh, hush my mouth. Do I need to say anything? Well, we know they use that one. There's just a little wick poke. Looks like all they did here was run the stops and then come back. So I got 1, I got 2. We know they use that one. Well, it looks a little wicky. Yeah, it is. Still a little, it's a little sloppy. Where's the resistance? Again, I tell you this all day long, right? Somebody bought it there. Somebody bought it there. Somebody bought it there. Do you think they knew what was there? I'm going to guess not. All right, so we know where the resistance is. We could probably just draw this up here. Take some of this off. Let's get you off here. So that's not much of a start. Looks like a 3 right off the bat. So, okay, well, what, based on that, let's go to a 4-hour here. What are you thinking? Oh, okay, diag? Is that what that looks like? Well, this is, it's unfortunate, right? This wick here. So a lot of times, you know, that's where this, right? It's liquidation, right? So that's liquidation wick right there. The only way you can say that with any certainty is look how quickly it comes back, right? So what happened down here, right? I know it's easy after the fact, right? So we all know what happened here, right? Stops were run, liquidity was grabbed, and then we go up, right? And what do we crash right into? Well, that's the 200, and it was also that golden zone that we just looked at, right? That's why we drew this here. This looks maybe. Now if we go to this one, it's just a little sloppy. So it's not as precise as you'd like, but we can probably work out a. Yeah, Jesus, do I have to do A, B there? I can't say I like that. Let's. Well, let's just go with it. All right, this is often the case, right? This is a little bit of a. Okay, can we work with that? Let's see. Can we get that 1 to fly? Looks like you're kind of stuck with that 3. A, B, C, perhaps. Actually, I need if it's going to be 3s. I want a 3 here. I don't really have a great looking 3. This looks like it's a better 5. It's iffy. Well, we can lock in here if that's going to hold as the 2. Okay, we're in the pocket, and this is, it's not what you want. It actually looks better if this is the 1. I'd be non-committal there, right? So you've held. Does it hold? All right, if it doesn't hold, then I'd probably be back here. If it does, I mean, this is just, it's not clear what you've got there. So that's ABC. You see, it's no way around it. Well, I'd be watching very close. It looks like it actually may have already broken. Yeah, it did. So let's come back here. I don't love that, right? So, but market doesn't give you perfect all the time. I'd be cautious there. You kind of want to do that. Then you're stuck with this kind of shitstorm here. WXY, right? That's a 3 all day. That's a 3. Well, fuck, that actually looks like a 5. But you'd have to work it as a 3. So you're dealing with this. Let's get that back in white. Now that might accommodate this a little bit better, right? Okay, now they don't need to be alike, but the time balance here might play a little bit better. I don't love it, but I mean, it's not the worst thing I've seen. Now, do you want to buy that? I'd want to see that start to kick a little bit. I'm down to a 30-minute. Well, okay, right, just a reminder, we got to be mindful of where Al is at all times. Right, there's always an algo on the other side, so if I get that dialed in here, all right, there's a target that would be threatening that one. Doesn't just because it's there doesn't mean it must get there. Oh, let's get. Okay, so it's mitigating here. It's already tapped it once, but now you're getting fully mitigated here. I got a little bit of a kick there. I'd want to see that go a little bit more, right? So give me a little bit more. Give me that. And then on that, then I'm interested. I don't have that, right? Big drop right now, so it's rebalanced, right? So I don't think you need to FOMO into that. I might let that percolate a little bit. Let the market show you what it's got, what it's up to here. There's nothing says, oh my God, I got to get it right this second, right? It's good upside here. If this is going to hold for a 5, I don't think you need to fuss around for a few ticks here or there. That's the one I would take. Okay, let me keep going. How am I doing on time? Oh shit! I'm okay. I'm gonna make it in 2 hours. I promise. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, here's a new name. TRX AZ. Oh, is that Texas, Arizona, KUE? Texazuki. Oh shit! I can't pronounce that one. But it looks like Texas, Arizona, KUE. Hang on. Let's do this. Hang on. What did I do there? Oh, that's block. Okay, so I can't do that. Okay, so let's leave that. Is that what you gave me? TZAZKUE is the ES. Let's just double check that. And just copy that. Like, make sure that's what you gave me. Is that what you wanted? Is the ES? Okay. All right. Well then, shit. You've already done it. We've already been through this one, right? You're right on track, right? Right with exactly what I was pointing out. So hopefully the ES discussion here I just did, right? Looks like we're in 1, 2, 1, 2, working on 3, right? So hopefully that 1, 2, well, this is the iffy, right? You could fucking do it either way. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, working on 5. I don't know. You know, that's more for the Elliott purist, right? To try and work through that. It's just amazing, right? That right here, where it is right now, was the 1618. I can't draw them here. Okay, well that saves us one. Hopefully that you got something out of that ES analysis I did up there. Here's CZA, TRX, CZA. What are we thinking? Interesting, right? So, yeah. Okay, this is a good one. All right, so we can bring a Head and Shoulders into modern language, trading language. Okay, CZA. I like this, right? So when the market is trending, right, and these are like, it's like a hammock, right? It's like a trampoline when you bounce into these and then bounce out, right? I love the look out of them. Of course, it's slow to turn over. Now, not that I don't. It's not that I don't like them. It's just to try and get a handle on where we are. Let's leave the God up there, just to clear it up a little bit. Okay, so. Oh shit! I don't want that. I want that out of there. Okay. God, I was looking at this recently. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the Head and Shoulders here. All right. So how now Head and Shoulders, right? Not about as old as Dow theory, right? But if we put it in contemporary trading language, right? What do we have here? Oh. Where'd you go there? Let's go. Right, so you might consider this, okay, so we know right under the left shoulder here, there's liquidity, right? So we sweep the liquidity. Now we go up here, where's the next bit of liquidity going to be? Right there. All right, so there's liquidity there. Right, so this is swept. This is swept. This would be, in this circumstance here, this would be a change of character, right? So which is, while it's a liquidity sweep, it's also a structure break, because lower low, lower high, lower low. Wait a second, something changed. So after a change of character is a break of structure, after that break of structure, what do we anticipate? Retrace. So let's put our inverse back up here, see if we can identify where we might find. Oh, surprisingly, there's not any there. Well, I guess we could just do it this way. Right, so, well, all right, let's dial in here. See what we can find. Well, looks like most you're going to get is a 50 there. Well, it doesn't quite get a 50. Yeah, let's see where we are. So swept, retrace. I got to go to a 4. See here. Feel like there's more there. And it's surprisingly, nothing has shown up in here. Oh, there's one. Oh, because they've been mitigated, right? So here's the last one here. That's already had a partial mitigation. You can barely see it here. So let me take that out. Do you see it right here? So look what we're coming back. I knew there had to be one there. Okay, all right, so here's the fair value gap that was mitigated. Now they're coming back to it, but what does that mean? Is that the reason that you want to pay attention to the fair value gaps, right, is because we can't create a fair value gap, right? Only whales can do that, right? BIFs, right? It's like banks, institutions, funds, right? Only they can do that. So which means right below that here there's a demand zone here that I want to pay attention to. Now you can, I usually put them right next to it, although that looks like there's another fair value gap right there. There is, right? It's tiny, but it's there. So there's two ways to do it. Actually. I mean, you could do it this way, right? Where you're all of this down before we go up, right? And then we get the fair value gap here. So all of this is basically demand. All right, so there's a fair value gap and demand here right as we retrace back to it, right? So that's the shoulder, and that's the theory here. So we sweep, change of character, we mitigate this one. Now we get a little tap mitigate. Now all the way back down here, we're mitigating down here, right? That's the theory. Now we look at this and say, well, that's deep, right? For our algo, right? We've got to break through. Why would it break through? Right, get back here to this demand zone here, rebalance that order block. Is it 707, right? So 707, 786. I mean, that's deep, but it's not like they don't happen. So now we can so we can do two things here. So we can take traditional, let's call it classic TA of a head and shoulders, mix that in with some contemporary market structure, fair value gaps, demand zones, market structure per swing high, swing low, breaks of structure, change of character, and those tendencies. And then, right, as I've said when I started, right, Elliott Wave just fits in beautifully. Right? We don't need to change anything, right, to add all three of these. I mean, this is really TA from 1930 through 2024. All applied here. Now, what else can we do here? Now, this is below the golden, but I still have a corner pocket here. Right, the key to it always is the pivot, right? As long as this holds, right, it could be one tick below. As long as I get a corner here, as long as that corner holds, I've got 80% odds, right? It's always the corner, right? I don't have this algo here driving for me. I still have the 80% odds. So if I'm going to get something bigger here, right, this is going to be if we've gone that deep. So sometimes, right, the depth here, right, sets up a bigger push. But you don't have the algo out leading in front. That's what you miss here. So how do we get him? right? Well, maybe we get something like this, starts it, right? Now, it's going to be a smaller algo. And by smaller algo, I mean the range that it's trading, right? So that target might be right there. Not this, right? Not the big one here. This one has to come out, right? We don't have him. How do we get an algo cutting through the forest for us? Right? We got to wait for the first retrace. And then try and get on board right there, right? Where he drives, right? We just want to, we just want to duck in behind them. Always, that's what we're trying to do, right? Because they move the market. We cannot move the market. Only whales can do that. So we just want to duck in. We want to see, what did they do here? Why did it come that deep? Why? Well, there is an explanation here. You may or may not like it. It looks like a pretty good ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B, C. It's deep, but there's you can apply some logic here rather than, well, fuck, I don't know. It just stopped there. There's some logic here. There's some insight. There's some understanding. Okay, does that mean that we're off to new highs? God, these fucking allergies. No, it doesn't, but it means I'm not going to just take it just because I have a hunch. Okay, show me, right? This is the advantage the Elliottician has. Show me the 5. If you show me the 5 and then retrace here, I'm in, right? You can lure me in, but you're going to have to set it up for me, rather than go, no, fuck, I'm the head and shoulders. Let's just buy it. Now, I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you don't have an algo driving it here, but you can get one. Everybody wants an algo. Just out of curiosity. Remember, always, did I say always? Always an algo on the other side. Why does it stop here? Well, given that, why are you assuming that it won't make it to that? Right? This algo's in charge. See, because remember, right, for every one that holds, there's one that breaks. Right? This one breaks. Right? There's the target. Why are we assuming that? Because we're bullish? Okay, well, if you're bullish, let's not be, I said this in last Friday's video, let's not be foolishly bullish. Okay, set it up for me. Because right now, bears have the advantage. Even though I've got this nice head and shoulders here, it's bear's ball. Right? For bulls to take it back, we got to get a setup here. Right now, they have the advantage. That's the target. Would that disrupt the count? You got to ask yourself, okay, would that disrupt the count? Well, it would certainly change some of it. Oh shit, let's get back here, see what that would do to it. It wouldn't kill it by any means. It would not kill your bullish bias. Let's get this all out of here. But we get some, we understand, right? So little TA, you're like, the mystery is removed, right? That's what we're trying to do. Going, why the fuck? Why there? Oh, no, that's speed my 2 here. Excuse me. All right, so if that's my 3, and I'm holding for a 4, I don't want 4s going beyond the 50. Right? So, well, let's get it back together. Oh, here I've got it. Oh, I don't like that. But no, we wouldn't kill it because my 1 would be protected still down here. But that's the target it's after right here. This has been mitigated, right? So maybe you can, you're looking for why. Why might it stop there? Well, maybe you've got a little demand zone here that here was created that caused that fair value gap. Another one here that caused this fair value gap. They've all been mitigated here, but you can look at it and say, okay, could we be coming that far? What would this be, right? Probably WX, then you'd be looking for A, B, C, something like that to bring it down. We don't know, right? A, B, right? Another algo kick, C for the 4. Until this is swept, that you're still playing for the long side. But right now, bears have the ball. If you'll allow for the sports analogy. Okay, that's good stuff, CZA. Thanks for that. How am I doing on time? Oh, shit. How many do I have here? Okay, so let me, shit, here, let me, shit, I'm here, I'm supposed to be done, and I'm taking too long. Let me try TZA, never get back, I'm going to try and get back to your GME. Hang on, because TZAZQ sent me the wrong chart, so this is what he wants, right? So now let me see if I can get that for him. And then I've got to stop. My guys are telling me I'm taking too long. It's too long. People are bored. Stop. All right. Well, I don't want that. Don't take more than 2 hours. Not more than 15 minutes a chart. If I'm more than 15 minutes, there's a reason. Is this the one you wanted? TZA? BOTZ. That doesn't look right either. So let me just bring it up. BOTZ. Shit, I've never heard of them. Is that what you want? Bots? Jesus. Bots? Is this it? Must be. Bots is the one I'd like to hope. Yeah. How to share a chart. Okay. TZAZQ. Look at the top of the channel where you're posting. There's a pinned post that will show you how to give me a chart that I can work with. Fuck. If you're listening, then tell me. Is that the one you want? Could you please check this one? I'm user TZA, but I sent the wrong chart. Yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, so I see it. I'm assuming this is the one you want. I'm looking at your chat in the what is that other thing? All right, we'll restream. I think this is what you want, right? So actually, it's better if you come over to Discord and let me know if that's not the one you want. Okay, well, what's happening here? Okay, just looking at this chart, what's the first thing you would check? Now, we can look here and say, well, that's too far, right? Wouldn't that be of interest to you? Well, both of these, right? I'd want to check both of these, right? Where's right? First question always, where's Al, right? Where's Al go? Well, let's check him. Well, so here, let's be consistent, right? So here, right, way too far. Right, so this was a harsh, right? Now we are in log scale, right? So it'd be, much worse here. Okay, so that we know that is too deep. So we want to check that one. Get you out of there. Get you out of there. All right, got to check from the top. Bull's ball, right? We've broken the resistance here. Kind of tried, right? Here you'd be, oh, well, we had to close above, right? So you already had broken, right? Close above kills it, right? So this one gets broken. So we have now, right? We have clear sailing because we don't have any resistance from above. That's what you're looking for, right? There's no algo, at least here on a 12-hour here or daily, right? At this time, anything out here, there's no resistance. Now, there's going to be supplies and shit. I can see them, right? They're there, right? There's going to be, let's get this on there. I'm assuming, Sam, TZA, this is what you want. Okay, so I've got, well, okay, all right, so I've got imbalances up here, meaning just above that, we know there's going to be a supply zone, right? Because the money had to be committed to create, right? You know how it goes. It has to be committed. What do I want there? Oh, fuck, where's my sell zone? Oh, there we go. Okay, all right, so I've got this is the supply zone. That's a better way to call it. Supply that creates the fair value gap that creates all of this. So as we come back to that, there's going to be some resistance there. Now, that's a long way back, right? And your thought is, oh, come on, you're telling me people who shorted it here are still waiting with unfilled orders here? No, people aren't. Software is. Okay, so we're going to go, it has to be, well, it has to, you don't have a lot of choices here, right? Which you love, right? Nothing worse for the elitician than, oh, fuck, this could be 7 things, right? You don't want that. You want what I have here. I don't have a choice here. 1, 2, period. End of discussion. I don't need to, oh, well, maybe something. No, there's a 5, there's a 3. Now, okay, this could turn into an ABC, right? We can't, there's a limit, right, to how much we know with certainty. This could be A, B, and we're going, it could be can't eliminate it, but if that were the case, the target would be a break of this low. Well, so something very wrong has happened to BOTZ, which I'm assuming is some sort of AI company, right? From the name. Okay, where do we anticipate that 3 to go? Again, it's just anticipation based on where they usually go. Well, this is 1, 2. Okay, well, a couple of things we can do right off the bat, right? Oh my God, are you telling me that over here, when I have a corner pocket, my 80% is still valid? Yes, that's what I'm I mean to be a smart ass, right? But it's 80% every time you draw one. Period. There's your 80%. See, I kind of dwell on these so that you don't forget to do that next time when you're thinking about that trade and you're thinking about targets. Well, first target would be, let's get to the median line, because there's 80% probability that happens. Okay, good. What do I got there? Is that a 1? Well, it's not going to be, well, likely not going to be 3. Now, it may be, this may be the 4 of whatever of the if we're going up here, what would you be thinking, right? Your first thought is, and we don't know, but something like this, that might be too much, right? If you're going up here for that, wouldn't your thought be, oh, let's take you up, that we're just getting started here, right? Because if this is 1, 2, it's not optional in your TA. This has to be an impulse. Can't be anything else. There is no alternate. It must be an impulse, right? I'm assuming you're going to apply Elliott Wave here and you're trading this for a 3. There's no, it's no diag here. Got to be an impulse. Now, you might say, oh, do I have one there? Well, if you're, the market gods are smiling, right? You'd get that. Oh, look, I could come back here to this imbalance here. Maybe I could pick up an algo here. Oh, look at that. I got imbalances between the 50 and the golden zone. Maybe I could pick it up here. I've already burned the 80%, right? So 80%, once it's burned, that 80% is burned, right? So the only way you could get it again, you'd have to have another one, right? It's a one-time use. Right, I get that. Now I got 80% again. See, right? So don't forget to do it. I got my 80% again. This is the market giving gifts. Now we don't know that that's what's coming, but okay. Well, do you want to buy it right now? I don't. I'll wait for that, because who's buying it right here? Who's buying it right here? Who's likely to be buying here? Likely retail. Even if let's say I'm just completely wrong, and we break this pivot, what would that be? Swing, retrace, swing, break of structure. What's after a break of structure? Retrace. Right. So after a while, I know people say, God damn, man, every time I get on your live stream, it's the same fucking thing over and over again. Yay! Yes! You finally appreciated what we're doing here. The same thing, every chart, every time frame, every day, every condition, every asset class, always the same. 5 years, I've done nothing but this. Always the same. You could go through my YouTube channel and pick something 4 or 5 years old. It's going to be exactly the same. That is our edge. Why would we discard our edge? We wouldn't. Okay, I got to wrap here, guys. I'm way over here. So for those that didn't get something here, I apologize. But my team is they're scolding me. I'm going too long on these, and people are losing interest. So maybe I shook you with that last little shout out. Right, that's the idea here. Every time we do this, because I want to reinforce it in your mind so that you might start to do some of these same things. And if you want to really, really, really learn how to do this and have it driven into your head until you've seen it so many times, you're like, oh my God, dude, I look at another chart, right? I can't not see it. It's impossible for me to not see 5s and 3s. It's just virtually, I can't help it. My brain just does it automatically. I'm trying to get you to the same place, right? If you really want to learn that, come on in. Right? It's free to go to the Discord. Now, if you want to get into some of the education content, it's not going to break your bank. We think, right? Lots of options. You can do the belt system. You can do just the brown belt. You can buy the brown belt by itself, right? That's the blend of Elliott Wave and SMC. All right. For those that didn't get it, well, keep them posted here. We'll try and get to them next week, or maybe I'll get a couple on Friday if I'm looking for stuff. Okay, guys. Hope you learned something. Hope you have, some. I hope it's worthwhile. Right. Let's say it that way. Right. Okay. With that, I'll wish you guys a good day and a good rest of the week, and maybe we'll get that Bitcoin all-time high here sometime soon. So I get this here. Okay, guys. See you next time.